Rainer Duzan, a senior on the Morehead State football team, now joining us on MSUEagles.com. Rainer is a kicker and punter from Dublin, Ohio. And Rainer, when you kind of look back on these first 3 weeks of the season, I guess it's been kind of a roller coaster ride. A big win over Southern Virginia to open the season. Strong performance by the team at EKU, Eastern Kentucky, even though the team came up a touchdown short. And then obviously a game you'd prefer to forget about this past week was St. Francis here. But when you look back on the non-conference as a whole, what are some of the positive things that maybe come to mind for you?
Some of the positives come from the first couple games, obviously, and the first half of the St. Francis game. We obviously had a lot of positive things going on, a lot of good energy, and we really did play good football. Against EKU, unfortunately, came as a loss, but same with St. Francis. The first half was really nice, and we just lost fire in the second half.
You've been through the Pioneer Football League slate many times. You're a senior this year for the Morehead State football program, and what are some of the things you're telling maybe some of the younger guys about league play and how things get cranked up a few notches? And a lot of people refer to it as kind of the second season and probably the more important one of the two.
Yeah, it's definitely a different feel than the first three games of the non-conference. It's anything can happen each week. Every team in this league can beat anybody, and it just matters more. It just is a big deal.
Rainer Duzan, our guest on MSUEagles.com. He's 4 for 5 on field goal attempts this year and 11 out of 12 on point after tries. And Rainer, I wanted to ask you a little bit about the daily routine for a kicker and a punter. You guys are at it 6 days a week between games, practices, film sessions. You've got the one mandatory day off each week by the NCAA. But what's the daily routine like for you when you get out here on the practice field?
The daily routine is to come out about 30 minutes before the rest of the guys. That's kind of when we do most of our work. We have the field to ourselves. Just kind of get loose, get warmed up, and then start kicking and punting and doing all our special team work right then before everyone gets out here, so we have a little bit more space to work.
Let's talk a little bit about the rule changes this year in college football as it applies to special teams and the kicking situation. As I said, you're a kicker and punter. You're on the field quite a bit when special teams is called upon for the Eagles. I guess the kickoff has moved this year to the 35-yard line, and touchbacks on kickoffs now placed at the 25. Just your thoughts, does that change anything for you?
It makes a difference. It's a lot easier to kick it farther, and you're able to get more height on your kickoffs. Hopefully your team can get down the ball and make the tackle quicker, and it's a nice thing.
Has it changed the approach at all as far as kickoffs? I mean, you see some teams kicking low and hard, or maybe kicking to some of the up men instead of trying to put it deep 5 yards further up.
I think a lot of teams are trying to kick it higher, and it gives their team more time to get down the field, and they have that ability with it 5 yards up to still get the similar distance on the ball.
Rainer, you've been recognized by a lot of different media organizations in the Pioneer Football League during the course of your career, preseason honors, postseason honors. I know you're a pretty humble guy by nature, but just talk about what those individual accolades mean to you to be regarded as one of the top kickers and punters in this league.
I mean, it's a nice honor, but it really can't be done without the holder, the snapper, everyone on the team, especially with the way our offense plays. It makes a huge difference, all those guys.
Talk about some of the personnel that joined you this year on special teams. I know we've got a kind of a specialist as a long snapper. You've got a transfer in Caleb No, who I guess can punt and kick, but primarily punts, and Luke Boyd's in the mix too. Just talk about some of the guys that you're working out with every day and maybe some of their strengths.
It's great having Jake around. He makes a big difference in our snapping. I have all the trust in the world in him, and it helps having Caleb around and Luke to help in practice with a lot of the kicking to help take some of it off my leg.
Obviously the holder is an important part too.
Mm-hmm. Yost does a great job.
What are some of the specifics you guys focus on when you're talking about field goals in practice when it comes to the snap and the hold and the kick? Are there certain things you guys are routinely working on, or the group knows each other fairly well at this point in the season, so just kind of like riding a bike? What are your thoughts there?
We just try to really work on our timing, make sure everything's down right. So the timing between the snap, the hold and the kick to have a low time, so all the guys up front can just do their thing and get the kickoff fine.
When you trot on to the field as a punter, obviously you want to kick it in high as far as you can, but beyond that, what are some of the things that run through your mind? Is it the same every time you go out? Does it depend on where the ball is on the field, the situation of the game? What are what's kind of your mental approach to punting?
It's situational based, depending if I'm on the right hash, left hash, in the middle, what yard line, and kind of what the other team is looking to do. Are they trying to block it? Are they trying to set up a return? It really changes what I'm trying to do.
Okay. And finally, Rainer, before we let you go, let's talk about you off the field. And you're a senior this year. I know you're planning to graduate from Morehead State here soon. Tell us about what you're studying and maybe what could be in your future plans. Obviously, if an opportunity presents itself, I'm sure you'd love to continue playing football, but beyond your football days, what do you plan to do?
I am going to get my degree in accounting in the spring, and I plan on continuing that and getting my master's, and then sitting for my CPA exam and see where that takes me.
All right. Well, Rainer, we appreciate your time today. We wish you all the best as the Eagles travel to Drake this week to open the Pioneer Football League slate. And for fans out there, please visit MSUEagles.com for the latest on Morehead State football. Once again, Rainer Duzan, our guest today on MSUEagles.com, and we thank you for your time.
Thank you.